Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Sir Cowdog, and this is the episode of Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, where I'm going to be covering the Huntsman's Copse. Last episode, after clearing all the way down to the Rotten boss at the bottom of the well in Majula, I went and cleaned out some secondary objectives by grabbing the Havel gear and opening the other stone doors with the Forgotten Key. One of the things I got from there, as you see, the Havel set. I don't think I quite have enough, equip load there to use both the legs and the gloves, but just a point of reference here, if you can see the difference between the Dranglic legs and the Havel legs, it's pretty much just a straight upgrade. Pretty significant physical defense upgrade as well, so slightly less poison resist, but that's not a very common damage type, so I'm going to go ahead and equip those. Run over here to the blacksmith, and I'm going to reinforce, actually, the Havel legs, and you'll see just how much defense I get from those. There we go. So, about 10 physical resists on each. The elemental resist not quite as much, but the elemental resist front I've got covered by the Black Witch dress. So overall, really good comprehensive combination of elemental, physical, and poise, all without weighing too much. So nice hybrid set of armor. Okay, so in order to get to Huntsman's Copse, you need to head as though you're going back to Hyde's Tower of Flame, and we will encounter Lycia right here, and she'll say a bunch of things, but basically what you have to do is pay her 2,000 souls, and she will open the passageway from Hyde's Tower of Flame to Huntsman's Copse. Now, it is possible to get here without paying 2,000 souls, but it involves killing the NPC and taking the Lockstone from her, but that also ends her particular storyline quest, so I'm not going to do that yet. And the first thing we encounter is a giant, deep, dark hole in the ground. Again, despite whatever online messages you might see that say treasure below or secret ahead or something like that, there's nothing down there besides a quick trip back to the bonfire, so do not jump down the hole. Alright, here we have a
I don't know who you are.
NPC who will sell dark magics, or hexes as they're known, as well as a number of casting items. Unfortunately, he won't even talk to me at this point because my character does not have the minimum intelligence and faith to even be any kind of caster. So in order to get him to interact with you, you need to have at least, I think, 10 intelligence and faith. And if you have, I believe, 20 intelligence and faith, he will actually give you an armor set that's pretty good. I probably will cover that in a caster playthrough if I have enough time to record it. For now, though, I'm going to continue on. And in this room, as you can see, there's poison falling from the ceiling. And that's caused by these butterflies, as you can see right up there. So get out your short bow or other ranged weapon. I'm going to clear these guys right out of here, because later on in the video I'll show you how to get down to those areas to collect that loot. Alright, right from this corner, I got one right there. I think I can get this guy right here as well. Maybe a little bit more to the left. There we go. Careful not to fall off there while you're doing that. Okay, so Huntsman's Copse is full of bandits and ambushes, as you can see. You got guys hanging off the bridge here. You got guys hanging off the wall here. There are bandits up above who will drop down. Pretty much everybody wants to attack you the second you have your back turned here, so just be aware of that. This area is particularly bad about ambushes around every corner. And some of them aren't even behind corners. They're just hanging out, waiting for you to pass by. They even hide behind the doors. Go ahead and smash these to let some light in. It just makes a slightly later part of the level a little bit easier to see. Get your shield up right here. Okay. So, let me get a better angle here. Head down the ladder. Alright. So you can see that kind of rope bridge that heads across to that big coliseum off in the distance. That is actually a boss area that we will get to in just a moment. First, I'm going to open the shortcut. And I'm going to light the bonfire, but not rest at it just yet. And head back up the ladder. Around the corner again, where this guy jumped out. Okay, so what you want to do is position yourself right here next to this body hanging off the edge. Aim at the loot that you can see and just sprint straight off. And you will land perfectly safe just like that. This guy has the token of Fidelity, which you need to join the the Blue Sentinels. Just past the old Dragon Slayer, way back in Hyde's Tower of Flame. If you remember, that guy kept saying, you know, "Begone, transient being, you have no place here." But now that you have a token of Fidelity, you can go back and join that covenant if you so choose. Alright. Same as last time. Give yourself enough room here to sprint. Aim right at the loot. Sprint. Jump. And then we have a giant basilisk and a guy with a torch. Neither of these guys is really all that dangerous. Take that guy out. Get on the side of the basilisk, who appears to be stuck actually. Huh, looks like he bugged out. Weird. Oh, there he goes. Get on the side of the basilisk and just chop at him with R1s. He's got a lot of hit points, but is actually not really a threat. So, now you're free to pick up all of this loot. Lots of poison moss. The 3 large titanite shards drops from the basilisk. Let's see, life gem, poison moss. The chest contains Rickard's rapier. While it's not the ice rapier from the DLC, it is a pretty good weapon. So, if you like using rapiers, that one is not bad. And to get out of here, just open this secret door with your interact button. Head down this hallway. Grab the souls and jump right in the elevator. Okay. Another secret door. And it's the other side of this room. So, yet another giant bottomless pit. Same as always, there is no secret, there are no treasure chests down at the bottom of it, nothing like that. So do not jump down unless you want to get yourself killed. There are quite a few of these prisoner guys in here, though. Go and take all of them out so they don't follow you the rest of the level. Okay. Up the ladder. Got a couple of more bandits. And the way back is by dropping down here and then dropping down one more time. And you can see that this is why I opened the shortcut, because this heads straight back to the bonfire. And that is the first section of Huntsman's Copse done. Got the second half. Watch for this guy to drop down behind you. Take out a couple more of these prisoners. Down here, there's one bandit hiding behind the tree. He's waiting for you to go straight to the loot so he can get you with a backstab. Okay, across the little bridge, we have a prisoner guy that runs away in kind of a funny animation, and one of these, I don't know what to call them, slave master kind of guys. They can do pretty significant damage if you get hit by both of those weapons, but they're actually not that tough. But most importantly, there are, scattered all over the forest, these guys, but the actual dangerous ones are these butterflies. As you can see, if you get beneath them, they scatter poison everywhere. So get out your bow. We can shoot those guys out of the tree before they are actually a threat. There we go. Grab the loot. Now, in this section over here, beneath that butterfly I just shot down, is normally the first encounter with the Forlorn Invader. He always invades here. It's like his default scripted invasion event. Same as always, he's not super dangerous, but he does a lot of spin moves and likes to roll a lot, but pretty standard tactics. Leave yourself enough stamina to roll away from his attacks. Make good use of that ring of stone to stagger him. Use your R2 because it tracks so amazingly well. And you should have the Forlorn down in no time at all. Okay. Over here we've got one more of these, I don't know what to call them, big dudes. 1, 2, 3. 3 light attacks. This is enough to kill him. And top off my health. I always take out every one of these prisoner guys because they will tend to stand up and attack you the moment you turn your back. You generally never want to leave an enemy behind you if it's an option to take them out. Alright, up on the top of this little dome there's a guy. He's waiting to ambush you as well as soon as you pull the lever to open the bridge. Oops. Take him out as well. Get this archer and his dog. before I open the lever, there's one more guy to get right here. Okay, so this spot right here on top of this little building is one of the few areas that plunge attack works. As you can see, there's one of those royal knights down there. He's guarding a chest with a sublime bone dust, so we're going to just walk straight at him. Hit the attack button as soon as you hit the ground, and he never even gets to attack in return. Alright. Sublime Bone Dust. Soul Spear, for all of you caster builds out there. Very, very good spell to use. Probably one of your primary damage abilities. Okay, back over here. Finally, now that all of the ambushers are cleared out, take out this guy and pull the lever. And that will lower the ridge to the next area. I forgot about that guy running around. So it may seem difficult to catch that guy. It's really difficult to get him with melee, but he does run in a set path. Where did he go? So, but the best way to get him is with a bow. There he is. And they do drop random stuff. Usually it's amber herbs or life gems. As far as I know, they don't drop anything vital, so don't worry about it if you can't catch them. It's not that important. Alright. So, we have another one of these, but it's locked. You can't get to the bonfire. And inside is Creighton the Wanderer, who Pate managed way back in the Forest of Fallen Giants. So you have two options of directions to go, into the cave or across the bridge. Of the two, the one you want is the bridge, because the cave will only allow you to go so far before you reach a locked door that can't be passed. So, we're going to go defeat some bandits. And keep your shield up, because there are archers. And again, at the fork, take the left path. Up here at the top of this area is another NPC invader. Merciless Rowena is not at all anywhere near Forlorn difficult. You can just basically R1 spam her to death. Just like so. Occasionally she drops some pretty good stuff, including a warlock helmet. Well, this time she gave me the priestess gloves and a human effigy, so not too bad. But most importantly is this loot right here on the ground. It's the key to get Creighton out of his cell and get access to the bonfire. Take out that butterfly. Keep your bow out and come over to this cliff edge, and downstairs in that cave you can see there's a guy there. That's a necromancer that will resurrect skeletons inside the cave system that I'm about to do. So let's go ahead and take him out now. Save ourselves the trouble of fighting him later. Alright, back up, and all of his magical bolts will harmlessly hit the ground. And right below these trees there is some loot, and all you have to do to get it is slowly walk off the edge. Flamberge sword. It's basically a claymore with bleed. And to get out of here, you don't want to walk off this side. That'll drop you off the cliff. You want to walk off this side with the corpse on it. Lots of bandits. Lots of bandits. Lots of prisoners. Okay, top off my health here, and we can continue on. Picking up all the loot, of course. Alright, typical fantasy trope here. We have a waterfall, and behind it is a entrance. Not to a cave, but to the boss area. Now, I'm not going to fight the bosses just yet. There is some more stuff in the level to do first. Continue around the path here, and I'm going to go into the back entrance of the cave system, which, as you can see, is full of skeletons. Now, these skeletons, normally they would get back up after you kill them, but since we already shot down the necromancer that does that, we don't have to worry about it. Combustion pyromancy and some titanite. A crystal lizard. This is why I grabbed the torch so I can see where it is. Give him the good R2 attack. Estus flask and titanite chunk. Basically one of each titanite. It's a really, really good crystal lizard. Pull the lever to open the gate. Now we're good to go. Next stop is back to the bonfire in Creighton. As soon as I take care of this other necromancer. And all of these skeletons. Alright. So, if you've never played Dark Souls 2 before and you see one of these funny urns, barrels, whatever they're called, with the face on them, these guys, they make a weird laughing noise, and when you get close to them, they curse you. You can see that bar filling up. Now, curse is not actually as dangerous as it was in Dark Souls 1. When curse fills up, in fact, since it doesn't break the no death challenge I'll show you, when curse fills up, you actually get a stack of hollowing. Takes a little while, but like so. Cursed. Normally you only get hollowed if you die, but in this case, curse will do that for you. I'm going to go and fix that. Easiest way to deal with these is just to roll through them. You can light the torch if you want, or if not, it doesn't really hurt anything. I'm just doing it for extra light because I'm going to be coming back through this area in just a second. And I would rather not have to use a torch again to see what I'm doing. The magic-infused mace. Not at all a bad tool since you're going to be fighting lots of skeletons. Alright, so now with the key. And here we have Creighton, who will talk a lot about Pate, and Pate being a dirtbag, and how he got tricked, etc., etc. Basically, as you progress both of these guys' story, you'll find out that they both hate each other, and they both want to kill each other, which eventually leads to an encounter later on where they end up fighting. And you have to choose which one of them to help. Spoilers, I actually end up killing both of them because they're both kind of dirtbags. So, alright. Rest of the bonfire to get repaired, and it's time to go back through the cave. Get to fight all of these skeletons again. Now, the nice part about the skeletons is that once you kill the necromancers stay dead. You only have to kill them once. Skeletons you'll have to deal with the second time, but it's kind of whatever. They are, as you can see, dying in one hit. Not very dangerous at all. Now that I've freed Creighton, I can summon him to help with the boss if I so choose. Oops, I forgot to light that torch. Alright, one more skeleton. And this jump to this item here, I believe it's a human effigy. It's a little bit janky, but same rule as always. If you aim right at the loot, or in this case just a little bit to the left, you can then sprint and jump. The jump back is a little bit worse because you don't have as much room to get your sprint distance down. The angle is going to be like this, from here to there, to give me the most room to sprint, and then just like that. If you are not comfortable doing that jump, I would suggest not wasting time. As you saw, it wasn't any sort of vital item or anything, it's just consumables. So feel free to skip it entirely. But if you get it done, next stop is the boss. This is the Skeleton Lord's boss. It's a pretty simple fight. It's basically just 3 Skeleton Lords. Each time you kill one of the Lords, they will spawn a crap ton of smaller skeletons. So I recommend that you kill the Lords one at a time, and then use these pillars to block line of sight of the other ones and deal with the minions, and then move on to the next Skeleton Lord. Don't try to kill all 3 Skeleton Lords and then fight the minions. That is a really difficult way to do it. Alright. Oops. Run over here. These skeletons are nothing special. They're exactly the same as all the other skeletons you fought. Just give them an R2. Kill them in one hit. The only real danger is getting completely surrounded and stun-locked to death. If you start to get surrounded, just run over to this other pillar. A little bit of stun lock there, like I said. Okay, looks like only one regular skeleton left, so I'm going to take out this other skeleton lord. Oh, no, he came to me. Nice. Okay, skeleton lord number 2. Is just more skeletons. Can take them out while they're still animating out of the ground. That one is really easy. And the last guy is the easiest of all. He spawns literally just 2 bone wheels. And these guys are really, really weak. I'll show you what they do just so that you can get an idea of how pointless they are. If you were trying to deal with these 2 bone wheel guys at the same time as the horde of smaller skeletons, that might be a little bit dangerous. But again, that's why I say just don't kill all the lords at once. It's a real pain in the butt. So anyway, that is all of Harvest Valley except for the one optional boss. So I'm going to go ahead and lower the bridge and get the next bonfire, and I'm going to travel back to Huntsman's Copse, the first bonfire, and I'll show you how to get to the optional boss. Just past the optional boss also is access to the Covenant of Blood, which is a nominal PvP covenant. Most importantly, though, the Covenant of Blood has a number of very strong pyromancy attacks. Okay, through the poison. Doesn't really matter if you get poisoned since there's a bonfire right here. Go ahead and rest. Head back to the, I guess it's technically the second bonfire, the bridge bonfire. To the right, just like you're progressing the level normally. Take out these guys. And instead of heading to the large bridge, immediately go to the right to the small bridge. Right here. These guys here will almost always swing 3 times. One, two, three. And you can either get behind him and do a backstab like that, which should take them out, or I'll show you in a second here with the next one. You can just wait for them to swing 3 times and then give them a couple of R1s or R2s. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. They do hit pretty hard, but as long as you just kind of roll away from their first attack, they're pretty easy to defeat. So a little bit of practice, you'll be taking these guys out like it's nothing. Alright, up through this little passageway, there are going to be 4 or 5 of these guys. Now, as you can see, they're all perched up top of their pillars, waiting for you to come forward. But if you just wait here at the beginning, they will come to you. And then you can take them out one at a time. I recommend using your bow to tag them so that they'll come at you one at a time. Some of the guys have whips. It's the same combo though. 1, 2, 3. Couple more. This guy should just drop down. I can hit him before he has time to attack. Same thing with that guy. Shoot him to get his attention. And that's it. Easy cheesy. So, the rope bridge, as you can see, is super rickety. It's got planks and stuff missing. Try not to fall down. And take these guys out, because as soon as you walk past them, they will decide to pull themselves up and try to attack you. This guy, you might be a little tricky, but you need to shoot him in his hands. Okay. And then lastly, there is an NPC invader guarding the door. He can be a little bit tough, but you want to fight him on this corner right here. He has trouble moving past it, so you can hit him to knock him back. Hit him to knock him back. I don't know why this works. It's some kind of weird AI pathing, but as you can see, he's already hit me only twice and I'm almost dead, so just be careful and watch the timing of that two-handed sword of his. Use your strong attack with the one-handed axe to stagger him, and he should go down pretty easily. Okay, the boss is through the next fog gate, but there's also this piece of loot. Now this jump is probably one of the worst and most janky jumps in the game. So you want to get as much room as possible, starting right here. Nope, just like that. As you can see, I almost didn't even jump. And you get a fire seed. Now, what I actually recommend is that you don't try to jump back. Homeward bone and then run through all of those guys I just killed again. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but it is safer than trying to jump back across because of how jank this angle is. But if you have to jump back because you don't want to waste time, you want to aim so that you are going to land in a spot where there's no gap, such as right here. As you can see straight forward, there's a pillar. If you try to jump across right here, when you land, you'll just roll off the far side of the bridge. You could, I guess, try to jump at an angle like this. That's just, I don't know, that's a bad idea, but yeah. Aim at this pillar. Right here. That way there's no risk of falling off. Okay. Now the boss is kind of a gauntlet. There are going to be a bunch of skeletons that get resurrected by necromancers, and you have to make it all the way past them to reach a lever, which will cause the boss to become vulnerable. The whole time, the boss is running around the arena in a chariot, running things over with his horse and chariot blades. It'll make more sense in just a second here when you see what I'm talking about. No spoilers. Okay. Skeletons. You can kill the skeletons, but they'll get back up. The best way to... Oh, I messed that up. That's what happens when you get hit, by the way, if you screw up the dodge roll. What you want to be doing is actually sprinting to this necromancer, killing him, hiding in this alcove, block the skeletons so that they get hit by the boss, who should be coming right back around here in a second. Boom. Yeah, see, he runs them over. These first three skeletons are tied to that first necromancer. There's going to be three more in a second here. And it's pretty obvious when the boss is coming. Everything lights up. It rumbles, it makes noise. You have plenty of warning to get into the alcove. But the next necromancer is up ahead here. Oops, I'm going to have to actually hide again. Anyway, so as you can see, this fight is all about managing your distance and time and your health, so that you have enough time to reach the necromancer. One more skeleton archer that I don't really care about. Wait for the boss, and then here's the lever. And as you can see, it will drop the gate, which means the next time the boss comes around, boom. So I actually left the skeleton alive. Anyway, so the actual boss is a horse. Horse does a couple of things. He does a backwards kick if you're behind him. He'll do a forward stomp. Oh, there's the charge actually. And then sometimes he rears up on his hind legs like that. They're all pretty heavily telegraphed, not difficult at all to dodge. And sometimes the horse, as you can see, he's got that weird black smoke off his nose. He will breathe black fire at you. That's probably his most dangerous attack, since it will continuously do damage to you. Like so. You really don't want to get hit by that, so just stay to the side of the boss. Oops. Oh, but I'm getting stun locked. How much fun. Okay, come on, boss. Anytime you want to attack. There we go. Standard boss techniques work. Wait for him to attack and then get some hits in. The charge attack that he just did, you want to actually dodge early rather than late. The timing on it's a little janky, but not too bad. Sub-boss down. Grab up all these souls. Now, when you're doing the boss gauntlet, don't copy the way I did it exactly. The tactic you want to do is simply to sprint right to the necromancers. I took a little bit of extra time and risk there to kind of explain and show what the boss was. So just sprint right to those necromancers and kill them, hide in the alcove and let the boss run over the skeletons. Run to the next necromancer, kill him, hide in the alcove, let the boss run over the skeletons, and you should be fine. But anyway, here's little Timmy.
Oh, do you have a lust for blood?
You have to answer yes like 12 times. It's ridiculous. And he will only let you join this covenant if you have a token of spite, which if you remember from the gutter, or actually I think the Grave of Saints, one of the two, at the very, very bottom there was a chest that I opened that had a token of spite in it. And that is why I do the Majula pit first.
Now you are this
Crest of blood.
You will.
Blah, blah, blah.
Well, what have you?
So he sells Great Scythe and a Priest Chime, but also some weird skeleton Lord armor. It's, I don't know, Fashion Souls. Buy it if you want to. A PvP item, some bombs and other more PvP items, but here's what he really sells. Firestorm and Great Combustion are two very, very good pyromancies. Flame Whip is whatever. Light the bonfire, and there's one more secret to get here. Do this little trick to get over here, and there's a piece of loot with 2 cracked red-eye orbs. Okay, so that's everything in Huntsman's Copse, guys. I'm going to go ahead and head back to Majula and level up, but that is it for the video. A couple of little tricks there, some secrets. Go ahead and burn through all of these souls I picked up. Same as always, avoid burning your boss souls by accident. Should break 100,000 here. Maybe? Yep. Nice, 100,000 souls.
Is that a shard you found? Here, let me see it. To see light, however faint it might be.
Alright, more hit points, more endurance and vitality, more strength. Upgrade the Estus Flask. Okay. I'm going to take that Titanite chunk I picked up in the skeleton area from that crystal lizard and reinforce the battle axe.
I'll be around if you make it back.
Burn Sublime Bone Dust. Alright. So, that's going to do it for the video, guys. As usual, I will see you in the next one where I do the Harvest Valley. But until then, peace.